Tell me your story, please.
Okay, my name is Kirby. I'm a deer hunter and I've lived in the outdoors. I love the outdoors. In 2010, toward the last of November, I had 350 acres leased in Georgia in Madison County on the Broad River. One Friday evening, I had a perfect stand. I go there and I see deer every time, morning or evening. Well, that Friday evening, I was hunting my stand and I did not see a deer, a turkey, didn't even hear a squirrel. And there was a pine tree right in front of my stand. And there was a natural clear cut, what I call a clear cut, is you can see real good. I just looked over to my stand, about 125 yards, just guessing on that, and there stood a Bigfoot. I mean, it was big, solid black, and looking right straight in my direction. I looked over there 3 times. I don't know what happened, but I did not even think to raise my rifle and look through my scope.
Why?
I wished I had. I don't know. I've wondered about that many times. Well, I got on down out of my stand. It was dusty dark, and I came back into camp. Well, the next morning, I went back to my same stand. I got up in there, and I've been there about an hour, and I happened to think about what happened the evening before. Well, I just eased over there and looked down there where it was standing on Friday evening. Nothing. I hunted another hour, and the woods was dead again. So I just left and come into camp, and the backside close to the Broad River is where my son hunted. So I hunted his stand because he wasn't there. About dusty dark, before I get down out of my stand, I'm always looking around to see for deers coming through the night. I got down out of the stand, walked about halfway across a food plot. Wood knocking on this tree 3 times. And it was at 10, 12 yards off in the field there in the woods. I got on my 4-wheeler, come back into camp, didn't tell anybody anything. But I got to thinking, 2 weeks prior to that, we were sitting around the campfire. And I heard this chattering. Well, I walked up there from the campfire and looked behind my camper and had my flashlight, and the chattering just quit. Well, we went back. 5 minutes later, it started again. Me and a friend went up there and looked again, shined all down in the woods, did not see anything. But that Bigfoot knew I was there on Friday evening. He knew I was there on Saturday evening. He watched my whole movement. I'm sure he had to.
Just a couple of quick questions for you, Kirby, because I know you haven't got a lot of time, if you may. First of all, did you see its face? How far away from it were you? Did you see its face?
I'm guessing maybe 100 to 125 yards from him.
And did you see any facial features?
No, sir, not much. It was getting a little. It was still good daylight, but it was getting late, and he was just so big and black. You couldn't hardly. The color of his fur and all was black.
So you're a hunter, and have you hunted all your life?
Yeah.
So why? Some people might say, well, you saw a bear. What would you say to that?
I'm sorry.
Some people might say, well, you saw a bear, you didn't see a Bigfoot. Why are you sure it's a Bigfoot?
I've always believed in them, but I never had seen one until that evening. And I seen it and I knew what it was. It was looking at me, but there was no movement in that. He didn't move or anything. He was just standing there looking right in my direction.
And how tall was he, do you think?
I'm sorry, sir.
How tall was he?
Fall of the year.
Say again?
It was in fall of the year.
How tall was he? How big?
Tall. Man, I'm going to say at least, that distance, I'm going to say at least 7, 8 foot tall. And maybe 400 or 500 pounds. I'm just guessing at this because I don't know for sure.
And one last question. You mentioned chatter. There was chatter. What sort of talk? Was it like talking or noise? It was like, can you describe it?
It wasn't talking. It was like an animal chattering his teeth.
Like that.
Yeah.
Cool. And how do you feel after you saw a Bigfoot? Were you excited, scared?
That Friday evening, it didn't bother me real bad. But that Saturday evening when I heard him wood knocking and I was that close to him, yeah, I got a little uneasy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with me.
You're more than welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.